first module today is going to be on nouns. Now, back in elementary school, you probably learned that a noun is a person, like a doctor, kid, or even an idiot, a place, like the river, my house, or the jungle, a thing, like a pencil, shoes, or a helicopter, animals, like an elephant, spider, or tiger. But what you probably didn't know is that a noun can also be a quality or an action. Let's take a look at the example that I've given. The teacher showed great patience when the student didn't do the reading. Now, the first two nouns that I see are pretty easy. We have teacher and student, and those are both people. But I also see the noun patience. And patience is a quality. So you're probably thinking, okay, I get the part about patience being a quality and nouns being able to be qualities, but what about the action part? Because I thought that action words were verbs. And you would be right, action words are verbs, but not all the time. An easy way, or a good clue that we often have to be able to figure this out, is that oftentimes an article, like the words a and or the, will come before an action word that's a noun. So if we take a look at the example here, I see the teacher showed great patience when the student didn't do the reading. So in this sentence, reading, although we often think of it as a verb, is actually considered to be a noun. Now that you know that nouns can either be people, places, things, animals, qualities, or actions, we're going to talk about how we can categorize some of these nouns. Nouns can be categorized into common nouns and they can also be categorized into proper nouns, which is just a fancy way of saying names. So, for example, a common noun could be the canyon. Any canyon in any part of the world, in any country. But a proper noun would be the name of a specific canyon, like the Grand Canyon. Another example could be the school. We could be talking about any school in any country, in any city, anywhere around the world when we use this word. But if I wanted to talk about a specific school, like the Madeline English, which is where I work, that would be considered a proper noun because it's the name of a specific school that I'm working at. Another way that we can categorize nouns is into countable and uncountable nouns. Now, countable nouns are, as I'm sure you may have guessed, nouns that you can actually count. So, for example, books. If I go into any old library, I can count the number of books in that library. If I go into my closet, I can count the number of shoes that I have in my closet. Well, maybe I can't count the number of shoes that I have in my closet, but most of you could probably count the number of shoes that you have in your closet. I could also count people or cars. But there are some nouns that I can't count. Usually there are things like liquids, like milk or water. Sometimes there are things like rice or oatmeal. You would never really say, I have 3 rices or 25,000 oatmeals if you were talking about these 2 nouns. You might say that, but you probably shouldn't say that, and it wouldn't make very much sense to anybody else. So as you can see, with countable nouns, you can actually count the number that there are that you have in front of you. With uncountable nouns, you're not able to count the droplets of milk that you have, or the droplets of water, or even the little bits of rice or oats in your oatmeal. Could, but like I said, you probably wouldn't